Imagine you're walking through a quiet forest 10,000 years ago. The sun is beginning to set. Suddenly, you hear something moving behind you. You turn around, but it's already too late. A massive predator is only a few feet away. There are no hospitals, no ambulances, no doctors, no medicine. No one is coming to save you. One mistake, one animal attack, one infected cut could mean the end of your life. Surviving 10,000 years ago wasn't just difficult. It was a daily gamble with death. Every sunrise was a victory, and every sunset meant you had survived another day. Today, we're traveling back 10,000 years to discover the deadliest ways ancient humans really died. Some of these dangers were obvious, but others were completely invisible. And, surprisingly, the biggest killer wasn't always the strongest animal. Let's begin. As the first light appeared over the horizon, a small group of hunter-gatherers left their shelter made from branches, grass, and animal skins. They weren't thinking about adventure, they were thinking about survival. Every member of the group knew that leaving the safety of the camp meant risking their life. Food had to be found, water had to be collected, firewood had to be gathered, but danger waited everywhere. The forests were home to powerful predators. Wolves hunted in packs. Massive bears searched for food. Big cats waited silently in the tall grass. Ancient humans had no fences, no flashlights, and no weapons made of metal. Their only protection was a sharpened wooden spear, simple stone tools, and the people standing beside them. Even a normal walk through the forest could become deadly. One wrong step could lead to a deep fall from a rocky cliff. A hidden snake could strike without warning. Thick bushes could hide a hungry predator only a few meters away. Every sound in the wilderness mattered. Every footprint on the ground told a story. Ancient humans learned to observe everything because ignoring even the smallest warning could cost them their lives. But wild animals weren't the only threat. Sometimes, the most dangerous enemy was something they couldn't even see. A small scratch from a sharp stone or a tiny cut while preparing food could slowly turn into a deadly infection. Without medicine, even the smallest wound could become a death sentence. And this was only the beginning. The next challenge waiting for ancient humans was far more terrifying than most people imagined. They had to face some of the largest and most dangerous animals that ever walked the earth. The group moved deeper into the wilderness. Every step had to be silent. Every movement had to be careful. The hunters scanned the ground for fresh footprints, broken branches, and animal tracks. They weren't just looking for food. They were also making sure they weren't becoming someone else's meal. 10,000 years ago, humans shared the world with powerful predators. Massive bears, packs of wolves, giant wild boars, and big cats ruled the forests. These animals were faster, stronger, and far more dangerous than any human. Imagine hearing a deep growl behind you. Your heart starts racing. You grip your wooden spear as tightly as possible, but against a fully grown bear, a simple spear offered very little. Wolves were just as terrifying. Unlike bears, they rarely hunted alone. They worked together as a pack, surrounding their prey from every direction. Ancient humans also survived by working together. A lone person stood little chance against a pack of hungry wolves, but a united group with fire and spears could sometimes scare them away. Wild boars were another deadly threat. They looked smaller than bears, but they were incredibly aggressive. Their sharp tusks could cause deep wounds. Many hunters were seriously injured while trying to kill a single boar. Sometimes the hunt became more dangerous than the animal itself. Even small animals could become deadly. A venomous snake hidden beneath dry leaves could strike without warning. A poisonous bite had no antidote. Ancient humans relied only on traditional knowledge and hope. Sometimes they survived, and sometimes they didn't. Hunting itself was one of the most dangerous jobs in the group. There were no metal weapons, no guns, no armor. Hunters carried sharpened wooden spears and stone tools. To catch a deer or another large animal, they had to get dangerously close. One mistake could cause the frightened animal to charge straight toward them. A large deer might not seem dangerous today, but its sharp antlers and powerful legs could seriously injure a hunter. Many injuries happened not because predators attacked, but because frightened prey fought desperately to escape. The greatest weapon ancient humans had wasn't strength. It was teamwork. Hunters surrounded animals carefully. They communicated through hand signals and experience. Everyone knew their role. Working together greatly increased their chances of returning home alive. As the sun slowly began to set, the hunters finally returned to camp. Some carried fresh meat, others carried injuries. A few returned with nothing at all. Every hunt was a gamble. Sometimes nature rewarded courage. Other times, it reminded humans that they were not the rulers of the wild. But even if you escaped every predator, survived every hunt, and made it safely back to camp, you still weren't safe. The next danger was completely invisible. A tiny cut, a dirty wound, or a simple fever could quietly become the most deadly enemy of all. The hunters had survived another day. They escaped hungry wolves, avoided massive bears, and returned safely to camp. It felt like the worst was over. But the greatest danger wasn't waiting in the forest. It was already with them. Imagine cutting your hand while making a wooden spear. It's only a small cut. Today, you would wash it, apply antiseptic, and cover it with a bandage. A few days later, it would heal. But 10,000 years ago, that same tiny wound could slowly become a death sentence. There were no antibiotics, no hospitals, no surgeons, no painkillers. If dirt entered the wound, dangerous bacteria could begin spreading through the body. The skin became swollen. The pain grew worse every day. Fever followed. For many ancient humans, a simple infection was more deadly than any wild animal. Even something as ordinary as a toothache could become unbearable. A small cavity could turn into a severe infection. The pain made it impossible to eat. Without treatment, the infection could spread into the jaw and bloodstream. Something we consider a minor dental problem today could end a person's life thousands of years ago. Broken bones were another terrifying danger. Imagine slipping while climbing a rocky hill. One bad fall could break your leg. Today, an ambulance would take you to a hospital, but back then, there was no rescue. A person who couldn't walk, couldn't hunt, gather food, or escape predators. Even if the bone healed, it could heal incorrectly, making survival much harder for the rest of their life. Fire also brought danger. It kept families warm and cooked their food, but it could also cause serious burns. A child falling into the fire, or an adult accidentally touching hot stones, could suffer painful injuries. Without proper medical care, even burns could become infected and life-threatening. Nature itself was unpredictable. Heavy rain could flood camps overnight. Strong winds could destroy shelters built from branches and animal skins. Lightning could start wildfires. Sudden storms could leave families cold, wet, and without fire. Sometimes the weather itself became the deadliest enemy. Food could also become dangerous. Some mushrooms looked perfectly safe but were poisonous. Certain berries could make people violently sick. Without scientific knowledge, ancient humans relied on experience passed down through generations. One mistake, one poisonous plant could be fatal. Every single day demanded constant awareness. A sharp stone, a hidden snake, a deep river, or even spoiled food could end a life without warning. Survival wasn't about being fearless. It was about making the right decision every single day. But even if you escaped predators, avoided deadly infections, and survived dangerous accidents, one final challenge remained. It arrived every year, bringing freezing temperatures, empty forests, and the terrifying reality of starvation. The cold winds arrived without warning. The forests became silent. Rivers began to freeze. The berries disappeared. The animals migrated. For ancient humans, winter wasn't just another season. It was the ultimate test of survival. Imagine waking up after days without a proper meal. Your body feels weak. Your hands are freezing. The children are hungry, but there's almost nothing left to eat. No supermarkets, no food delivery, no farms, only endless snow, and the hope that today's hunt might be successful. Starvation was one of the slowest and most painful ways to die. As the body ran out of food, every movement became harder. Muscles grew weaker. Thinking became difficult. Even walking a short distance felt exhausting. Day after day, the body slowly consumed its own energy just to stay alive. Some families survived by eating dried meat they had prepared months earlier. Others stored nuts, seeds, and smoked fish for the winter. Those who failed to prepare often faced impossible choices. Every bite of food became precious. Extreme cold created another deadly challenge. Without modern clothing or heated homes, ancient humans depended on animal skins, fire, and simple shelters. If the fire went out during a freezing night, body temperature could drop dangerously low. A single winter storm could wipe out an entire camp. Despite these dangers, humans refused to give up. They adapted. They learned from every mistake. They shared food with one another. They protected the weak. They passed survival knowledge from parents to children. It wasn't strength alone that kept our ancestors alive. It was intelligence, cooperation, and determination. The greatest lesson from 10,000 years ago is that humans didn't become the world's most successful species because they were the strongest. They survived because they worked together, solved problems, and never stopped adapting to an unforgiving world. The next time you enjoy a warm meal, drink clean water, or sleep safely in your home, remember that thousands of years ago, every single day was a battle against hunger, cold, disease, and death. Every generation that survived made our existence possible today. Their world was harsh. Their lives were uncertain, but their courage changed human history forever. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the ancient world. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more incredible stories about ancient humans, lost civilizations, and the mysteries of our past. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the ancient world.